The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
It hasn't happened at Fenway Park for 95 years. The Red Sox are world champions.
All right, everyone, welcome in Red Sox Beat Memorial Day Weekend Edition. It's crazy. Unofficial start of summer is here. It's going to be nice all week. And, man, it's been a good week of baseball. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to plenty of things. Of course, Jess Thomas is joined by me, Jared Scally, your lead host here on Red Sox Beat. Fans, you want to engage with your favorite CLNS personalities? Download the Reach app today for both the iPhone and Android. Are you a fan of the Celtics, Red Sox, Bruins, or Patriots? Of course you are. Make your voice heard. Join your favorite show, and our host will ask the questions. Maybe your answer will get unheard on air. Download the Reach app today at www.reachapp.com/CLNS. Again, reachapp.com/CLNS. Of course, you can go on to your preferred app store as well on the iPhone or Android devices, and you can get them on there as well. It's a great service. Jess does our Reach questions every day here. Jess, appreciate you doing that, by the way.
Yeah, I need some participation on it. There's not been as many people answering as we want, so people get on this stuff.
You know, we ask exciting questions every day, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to, not really nice to say, yes, it is fun to watch. It's fun to read along and answer along here, and we get some interesting answers up there, so definitely check that out. Yeah, again, listen, like I said, Jess, Memorial Day weekend, man. It's hot out. It was nice out today. I played a little tennis even today in between work days and shifts, and it's been a busy Sunday here on Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it's been nice out. It's been people outside of my place here just like screaming and partying all day long. They're still doing it. I can still hear it out there. So people are having a good time this weekend for sure.
All right, I think we're all in the wrong place. We need to go to Jess's apartment and have some fun.
I'm not taking part of it. But
all right, so we'll go out without Jess. It's fine.
I'll stay inside. You guys can go out there. Oh, actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it again, more people answered the questions, the last couple questions than they had before. So
nice,
good. Keep it up, people.
Keep
I take back what I said.
Jess did not mean to grab on you people, okay? He loves you. We all love you. Again, if you don't know, you can join us on iTunes as well. Subscribe to us. We're on Stitcher. Get us on Twitter as well. So great different ways to interact with the show. We've had great success so far. I believe, Jess, this show's been going since like August now? September even? I don't remember. But it's been a while. We have great success with it. We want to keep it going. So, of course, you guys listening make it us more successful, and we appreciate all the feedback we get, so keep it coming. All right, Jess, enough of the lovely pleasantries. Let's start off here with MLB headlines. We've got a few to get to, and then we're going to move on from there. So first, the Mets' David Wright has been shut down with spinal stenosis. The third baseman was supposed to begin a major league rehab stint this week, but will undergo further tests instead. His injury, worst case, could possibly end his career, so stay tuned for that. The A's' Sonny Gray left his start Sunday early with an ankle bruise. The team went on to win against the Rays 7-2. Note, Sonny Gray was pitching phenomenally before he left in the fifth inning. Orioles relief pitcher Brian Matsus was ejected from Saturday night's 13-inning loss after having a foreign substance on his right forearm. This was against the Miami Marlins, and they noted that he had a foreign substance on his right forearm. Again, of course, people, that's legal in Major League Baseball, so don't do that. All right, Jess. That's it. That was it. Go simple three here. Now, David Wright's kind of the big one this week, Jess, just because people have had this in the past and couldn't come back from it at all. So, worst case scenario, this really could, I wasn't kidding, like this could end his career.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it did because he's kind of up there in age. He's 32, and he's played a lot of years. He's been around for quite a while now.
It's a dear shame if it does because, man, this guy deserves a World Series. He's been so loyal to the Mets organization. Now they're starting to play better. He can't be on the team. It's crazy and unfortunate, and it's just, what a bummer.
It is too bad, but that's serious stuff, spinal. I mean, anytime you start talking about your spine and it narrowing and all that nasty stuff, that's not a good sign. So I think they're probably going to be really careful with it and make sure that everything's right. But it is sad. He's been on the Mets for 11 years, and he's got a lot of good numbers. He's been kind of hurt from time to time and can't seem to put it all together at the same time and may not ever again. So
I will say this, though, Jess, in terms of David Wright, man, if this guy was healthy all year, but obviously I don't want him to, sit here and I'd rather him be healthy and not risk not being able to walk the rest of his life just to pitch another couple years. You know what I mean? in this kind of situation, he's had a great career, he's done well, and he's done great things even for internationally because he played well on Team USA in a World Baseball Classic. So this guy's going to have a foot in baseball regardless of if he's playing or not. So obviously I want him to get better and play. And honestly, he could be back in a few weeks. It could be a minor setback. We don't know. But we're going off worst-case scenario here, and worst-case scenario is he's done for his career. I'm not saying that's what happened here, people. I'm just saying that's what could happen.
Well, if he is done for his career, his career batting average is .298. He's got 231 home runs, and he's just over 50 shy of 1,000 RBI. So he's had a fine career.
A solid career for someone who could potentially be cut short here.
Yeah. So that's David Wright. Sonny Gray, yeah, he's been pitching great, obviously. We know that he lost to Wade Miley against the Red Sox, but he still pitched really well in the game despite having the loss. So hopefully for their sake, because they already have a terrible record as it is. So if they lose him for any period of time, then they're really going to be in trouble because the fact that they're as bad as they are with him pitching that well, not a very good sign for them.
He took a shot off the ankle. It was a hard hit ball.
Mm.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't. It happened today, right?
Black.
Yeah,
yes,
no, I didn't see it.
It was a hard hit ball, and it bounced pretty far off his ankle. It clearly went off his ankle bone because it just went far.
A new way of messing up your ankle rather than falling on it.
Screw twisting it. Let's just get a baseball knocked off the bone.
I'd rather twist it. Actually, I've already done that.
No.
I had ankle surgery, so I don't know about that.
I'd rather pitch and just maybe have my ankle hit by a baseball.
Yeah, it's a bruise. It's not a sprain. It's not a break. So
no.
I guess getting hit by a baseball is the best scenario for that. And Brian Mattis. Okay, so two foreign substances in the last couple days here between Will Smith of the Brewers getting ejected and suspended 8 games for his foreign substance on his arm, and now Mattis as well with a foreign substance. What's going on with this foreign substance?
I agree with the players who have come out and said they wish that there should be possibly be a substance that the league agrees on that becomes legal to use, because a lot of batters have come out and said in the last week that they would prefer pitchers have extra grip and use this substance because they don't want to get hit in the head when having a 96-mile-an-hour fastball come to the plate.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it would make sense to them just to have either have a substance that is legal and MLB approves of, or just keep being discreet about it and just don't tell on each other.
But what substance would you have that would be legal, though? What would that be?
I don't know. Sunscreen?
Yeah.
Just something, anything at all. Like Clay Buchholz had sunscreen on, and he always does. Clay Buchholz's substance of choice is sunscreen.
And greasy hair.
And greasy hair, probably the sunscreen.
Sunscreen and water in your hair, that sounds good.
It's a delicious combo.
Yeah.
It's waterproof, man. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, true.
SPF 50 and Clay Buchholz's nub tips of hair that he got after his haircut. Way off topic.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm known for that, Jess.
We're talking about foreign substances, so it's fair.
Clay Buchholz's hair sweat
That's
is
a foreign substance. Yeah.
Foreign substance. Get the hazmat suits on when dealing with.
Nobody be getting any hits off him with the hazmat suits on. Swinging that
all right.
bat.
Well,
Oof.
I'd like the league to do that, but I also wouldn't mind the league going. The more realistic situation will be they just stop telling on each other, because everyone does it. We all know everyone does it. 95% of pitchers do it. I'll be fair to them. 5% of them don't do it. But managers just do it. Tell on their opponents at some point just because they're losing. They go, maybe they're checking. Maybe they have something on their forearm. Go check it. And what's the worst case? If you're wrong, you're wrong. You don't get any punishment for being wrong in that situation.
Right.
So these managers will be like, oh, well, I'm down 2-0. I have no momentum. This pitcher's killing us. Oh, hey, I think that guy has something on his forearm. Can you go check him? Of course he has something on his forearm. Everyone does.
Well, I'm not sure what happened with Mattis today or last night, but I know that Will Smith, the umpire, just saw it glistening in the light. Or no, the manager. The manager saw it glistening in the light. The manager
did. That's what I'm saying, though.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't say anything.
Right.
Because your pitchers do it too.
Yeah,
so
it was the umpire. It was the manager, yeah.
But if the umpire sees it, it's one thing. But if the manager sees it, I think it's glistening. Okay, we'll keep that in my back pocket. With the sunflower seeds, we'll just tuck it back there. Leave it for later. And then in the 5th inning, we still haven't gotten a hit. Hey, the sunscreen's on there. Can you go check his arm? I think I see something glistening. I think he keeps going to his forearm. You've known since the 2nd inning. Come on.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that. Those are your MLB headlines. Of course, they're brought to you by lynda.com. Lynda.com is giving you a 10-day free trial partnered with us here at CLNS Radio. Just go to www.lynda.com/CLNS to claim what is yours, your 10-day free trial with over 4,500 different courses up there with experts teaching everything from web development to Photoshop to just using Microsoft Office. Everything's up there, so go check that out again. MLB headlines are brought to you by lynda.com. L with a Y, and Lynda with a Y.
L with a Y.
L with a Y. Lynda with a Y, if you haven't figured that out. All right. So good MLB headlines there, Jess. A lot going on around the league. Let's get to this week's recap. So, Jess, I'm going to leave it to you as you clearly are fixing my stat line here on our...
Big time. I'm not sure what games you were looking at, but...
I looked on last 7 days.
Huh. Well, I went from the Ranger series and the Angel series combined.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it wasn't updated. The last 7 days thing wasn't updated through today.
That is exactly what it was. I was thinking you didn't put the last game in, the first game of the series against Texas, but yeah, it was today that you didn't add. Okay.
Okay, so I blame ESPN's website.
The numbers are much better than they were 5 seconds ago. So
even more reason for me to put nap on the pre-show page here.
Yeah, and we're gonna agree on that.
Yeah, you do your week. You do your thing, Jess.
All right.
What happened this week?
So this week, the Red Sox went 3-3. 3-3. Yeah, it was 6 games. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about you go away? Okay. So, first game was on Tuesday. Monday was a day off for the Boston Red Sox.
The Boston Red Sox.
I'm going to channel my inner accent that I don't have for this segment.
You know, they played well, and they just hit the ball hard, and Knapp hit the ball over the fence a couple times, and, we just kind of did what we did, and the Sox came out 3-3.
They hit it so hard.
Yeah, it's so hot over there.
Napoli was hitting boppers everywhere.
Napoli's hitting people's cars out there on Lansdowne, man. It's getting crazy stuff going on there in Boston.
Pretty convincing for both of us.
I know. I was better than I've ever done it, so I'm impressed. Okay, keep going.
Okay, keep going. You mean start?
Yeah, right. Start where we were supposed to.
Okay, Tuesday, May 19th. Red Sox beat the Texas Rangers 4-3, and it was a home run party again. David Ortiz and Mike Napoli each hit a solo home run in that game. Boston got up to a 4-0 lead after 5 innings. And then Texas tried to make a comeback against Wade Miley. The mission matchup was Wade Miley and Giovanni Gallardo, who used to be a great pitcher, not doing so well this year. He's 3-6 with a 4.26 ERA.
Good.
Yeah, the Red Sox roughed him up. 10 hits, 4 runs in 5 innings is pretty good. And pretty bad for him. But Wade Miley held him down. Not quite as much as today. We'll get to that at the end of the weekly recap. But Miley got his 3rd win of the year. 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts, which is a lot for him. Usually he doesn't get too many strikeouts. But another good outing for Miley. Bullpen nearly blew it with a Leonis Martin 9th inning home run off Uehara. But it was all Texas would get, and the Red Sox won 4-3.
Yeehaw.
That started off the series the right way, and it definitely was the right way because not much right went right to the rest of the series.
Good job. Way to recover.
Right. Too many rights. Stop saying right.
Right.
And it was wrong on Wednesday. The Red Sox faced Phil Klein, who was making his first major league start after several bullpen outings, and he was good. The Red Sox could not figure him out. And this is the thing that's been happening recently. I've heard people talk about it. The Red Sox hit better against good pitchers than they do against unknown pitchers.
Yeah, I heard that too. I think they brought it up on the Nesson broadcast on TV. And it's crazy to think that, but it might be true because these guys probably just focus in more, facing better hitting, and it's just more of a test for them. So plus the better pitching most of them have seen before. Right. In terms of like the pitchers themselves, so they know what to expect. Whereas the guy like that, who is making his first major league start, it might be hard to figure out for a few times to the line.
Right, because you're hitting guys around like Felix Hernandez and Garrett Richards and these guys you've seen before, and then you get Phil Klein come in and pitch 5 1/3 innings in 1 run. So, for whatever reason that happened, it was a great pitching matchup. Klein was great, and Joe Kelly pitched further into the game than Klein did. He pitched 7 innings and only gave up 2 runs and had 7 Ks as well. But the Red Sox couldn't get anything going against Klein or 3 2/3 innings of 4 2/3 innings. Sorry, of Texas pitching. I'm trying to do math while I'm talking here.
Boo!
Boo! No math.
That wasn't to you. That was to the Red Sox.
Okay, or math.
I'll boo you. Want me to boo you too? Boo!
No, I figured it out.
Boo, Jess! Boo!
No, don't do this to me. The Red Sox' only offense in the game was Xander Bogaerts hit a solo home run in the 5th inning. That was as close as the Red Sox would get. 9 hits, but only 1 run. Continuing to have trouble after a horrendous week before that we covered in depth on last week's show. Offense continued to struggle with only a run, and the series was tied at 1 apiece. Brought us to Thursday, where the offense was non-existent again. Even less hits, 6 hits this time instead of 9, and only a lone run again. Another pitcher who's pretty average, who just kind of isn't that good. Wandy Rodriguez, 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. That's it, and spoiled another good effort by Clay Buchholz. He went 7 1/3 deep, only gave up 2 earned runs, 3 runs, 2 earned, only 5 hits, but Red Sox only scored 1 run, which is on an RBI ground out, so the offense is just non-existent. The Rangers jumped on top quickly, 2-0 in the 1st inning on a big error that scored 2 runs, and then Mitch Moreland hit a home run in the 4th. And that was all the runs the Rangers got, but it's all they needed. So they won 2 games in a row with 5 runs total, which is not what you want to see.
Isn't that horrid to think that this offense was supposed to average 5 runs a game, like I said last week, and now they got 6 in the coming to the point where you can't get more than 6 in a whole series, and within 2 games, your opponent wins with only 5 runs in 2 games.
Yeah, eight runs in 3 games, and you lose, and you win 2 out of 3. That's not saying much for the other team's offense.
No, it's not. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. That game was rough for the middle of the order, too. Hanley Ramirez 0 for 4, Mike Napoli 0 for 4, Brock Holt 0 for 3.
Yeah, it's just rough.
Not good.
I'm kind of sick of relying on Brock Holt, though, too. We don't need to get to that.
That's been the case for a year and a half now.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick. As much as I love when he comes up big, I'm sick of relying on him, and I'm happy Rusney Castillo's up here because he's going to play more now, and Brock Holt might play a little less. We'll get to that later, though, because I do want to talk about Rusney Castillo.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that. So that brought us to Friday against a new team. Thought they could maybe get a new team in here, get some wins against them. It did eventually happen, but not on Friday. We were lamenting the horrible offensive struggles. Well, the offense scored 5 runs on Friday, and the pitching that has been so fantastic decided to give up 12. So that didn't work out too well, and it was Rick Porcello, of all people. He's been pitching fantastic. He'd won 3 out of the last 4 starts, hadn't lost 1 in 5 starts, but he was garbage on Friday.
Back to normal.
I'm sure a game that a lot of people turned off right away after 5th inning.
It's a shame, too, because he's the one everyone's pegging as, like, the ace of the staff. I know I hate using the word ace with the staff, but, like, he's the guy I would give the ball to right now. And granted, that's probably his blip start, whereas that's how the rest of the rotation's been pitching. So he's still getting lumped together, but I think Porcello, for him, that's just more of a bump in the road than anything else.
I think it is, too. I mean, he's been pitching pretty well. Everything just snowballed in this game, and a couple of his runs were inherited runs to score, too, which obviously is still his runs. But it's unfortunate because after having so few runs against the Rangers, and then your pitching has been so good over a week and a half, and then right as the team finally decides to start scoring runs, they got 1 in the 2nd on a Napoli home run, got down 2-1 in the 4th, but then Brock Holt got a 2 RBI double in the 4th and put the Red Sox right back up 3-2, just to give up 9 runs in the next half inning in the top of the 5th. It was like just as they're like jogging back and forth, staying in the game, getting some runs, Porcello just blows it big time. It was just kind of a snowball effect. Mike Trout got an RBI single, and then the big thing was, well, actually got an RBI single, and then they got a 2nd run on an error.
Yeah, the thing that killed me was, in that game, the Red Sox kind of got some runs to respond, like you said, then Porcello just came out and couldn't lock it down.
And immediately, too, right afterwards.
Yeah, if he came out and had a quick inning, you would have kept that momentum on your side, and that maybe would have been a whole different ball game. But it turned out to be a crapshoot because Porcello couldn't keep the ball over the plate.
Well, the biggest problem, the first thing is that they got the first 2 guys on base in the 5th inning, both by walks. So, like you said, he just completely...
They were fast walks. Those were like 9 pitches total.
Right.
Like, one of them was a 4-pitch walk.
He just completely lost control. And then Trout got his hit, and then that was 2 runs. And then he got a ground out for Pujols. But then the big play was Mike Trout stealing 3rd and somehow keeping his foot on the bag and getting away from the Brock Holt tag. And they called him out. They reviewed it, called him safe after that. And that's when everything went downhill after that, because that would have been 2 outs. And then just Cole Calhoun coming up instead.
Yeah.
Trout stole 3rd. Calhoun drove him in with his RBI single. and then David Freese drove in Calhoun with an RBI double. Then they took out Porcello, and then Matt Barnes finally pitched a bad game after having a great season so far. And he walked Matt Joyce. Then Chris Iannetta hit a 3-run homer. And then Rusney Castillo just dropped a ball that was right in his glove out in right field. And then 2 batters later, Eric Ibar hit a 2-run homer, and that was your 9 runs. So it was just one thing after another: bad play, error, steal, home run. Ugh, terrible.
I will say I definitely turned the TV off.
Well, I was recapping it, so I kept watching it. And
I turned the TV off to something else. I started watching playoff hockey.
Well, yeah, it is that time of year. But the Red Sox could have come back, really. I mean, they had a chance. I got hopeful for just a second. In the 7th inning, the Red Sox got the bases loaded with nobody out. Granted, they were down 8 runs, but they got a Brock Holt walk, a Rusney Castillo single. That was Castillo's first hit. And then Blake Swihart got a single, bases loaded, no outs. And then Betts hits one to Freeze at third. He just drops the ball. Could have been a double play. Instead, nobody was out, and then it was 11-4. And then Pedroia reached on an infield single where the Angels got no outs, and then it was 11-5. Then Garrett Richards came out of the game, finished giving up 5 runs, wasn't very sharp in his return to Fenway Park after his horrendous injury last year. So the Red Sox roughed him up good. You think 5 runs would be enough, but when you're down 11-5 at that point, could have gotten a lot more, though. Nobody out. David Ortiz, bases loaded. He strikes out. Then Daniel Nava came up to the plate, and he was in the game because Hanley Ramirez got hit by a pitch, and he left the game just before that. So then you have Nava up with the bases loaded instead of Ramirez. Not that Ramirez would have done anything because he's done literally nothing in May, but it was Nava. He grounded a double play. All hope was lost immediately. It was so sad.
Yeah, it was not fun to watch. And it was like that little glimmer of hope, and then just no.
Looks like Ortiz could have just gotten a sac fly and made 11-6. Nava maybe could have gotten a hit. You're talking about 11-7, 11-8, and there's still 2 innings left after that. They could have had a chance.
That would have kept me entertained.
Yeah.
But they would have had to do that, and they did.
But,
yeah. And that's the problem this offense had been having for a while, and it kind of went away once they started playing the Angels this week. But like they were leaving so many stupid runners on position, like in scoring position.
Right.
And this offense, that's what the problem is. They were hitting like really low 200s with runners in scoring position, maybe under 2.
Right. Pedroia's hitting like 190 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, real bad. So that was your losses, 3 losses in a row, terrible homestand. I mean, home games, again, 3 losses at home in a row. You can't do that if you want to be a good team. So fortunately, yesterday, Saturday, because we were doing the show on Sunday, Mike Napoli decided that he was going to become the best player in the major leagues this weekend. And after he already hit a home run on Friday, on Saturday, he decided to hit 2. And boy, they were blasts. The first one was in the monster. The second one was way over the monster.
2 things. One, I thought we drafted Dwight. I thought we just picked up Bryce Harper.
You're right. 4 runs in 3 games. Yeah.
Did you see that Mike Napoli's first homer on Saturday hit some fan's target in
Yeah, I did. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
It was like it said like, oh, it's my birthday. Can you hit one here for me or something like that? There. And it like hit it like right on the sign. I don't know if it actually hit the target, but it hit the sign. And
like, it was right next to the target, yeah.
You never see that happen.
No.
And it was like a high, it wasn't like a moonshot of a home run, but it wasn't like a line drive homer. So like, it took some time, and it found that target. It was awesome. It looked like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, it was in like the third row of the monster or something.
Yeah, awesome. And then the second one, he just bombed over.
Yeah, that was like 5 roads past Fenway Park.
Yeah, and then the one he hit today was crazy too, which I know you'll get to.
Yeah.
But that one was the furthest one recorded in Fenway all season.
Until today, right. So
yeah. Well, I meant the one today. Yeah.
Right. Well, yesterday was the longest until today's.
Yeah.
So the 2 longest home runs for Napoli in the same weekend, and we should note this is all against the Angels, which is his former team, and now he has 18 home runs in his career against the Angels, which is more than anyone has against them. Which is
not surprised. It always happens like that. Someone always likes to play better against their former team.
So yeah, basically Napoli just led the team to victory. Red Sox won 8-3 on Saturday. Napoli's first home run got the Red Sox within 1 at 2-1 because Calhoun hit an RBI double, 2 RBI double in the first inning off Stephen Wright. He would totally settle down. He didn't give up any more runs, and Napoli decided to give him some support, mixed in with a Betts single, and then Napoli's second home run gave the Red Sox a 4-2 lead, and then Xander Bogaerts got a 2 RBI single in the 7th the next inning, and then it was 6-2, and the rest was history. A couple more runs in the game, but 6 runs in the last 4 innings for the Red Sox was good to see. The pitching was great. Stephen Wright pitched 6 1/3 innings and only gave up the 2 runs that were in the first inning, and the offense finally happened, and that was an 8-3 win. Good to see on all fronts. Good offense, good pitching. They finally put it all together, which was excellent. Which brought us to Sunday, today, where offense and pitching was even better. So Wade Miley pitched a no-hitter through 4 2/3 innings. He was dominant. He only threw 35 pitches through the first 4 innings. He was averaging 8 pitches per inning.
That's insane. I don't get it. We'll talk about that in a second, but
he was so
where
good.
This is coming from is beyond me.
He's been on fire. This is a guy that everyone was dumping all over at the beginning of the season. His two outings of 2 1/3 innings each were terrible.
Beginning of the season, this was like 2 weeks ago I was still dumping on this guy.
Right. But now since May started, he's just gotten better and better and better and better. And he's all the way up to 4-4 now. He got the win. He pitched 8 innings, a season high. Might even be a career high, but I know it's a season high. And he only gave up the 1 run, and he was just completely dominant. He only threw 96 pitches through 8 innings. He could have gone the whole game if they really wanted him to. They decided to bring in Koji for the final inning, which was good because he retired them 1, 2, 3 right in the meat of their order. But
let's not take chances in the meat of the order, please.
Yeah, there was no point at that point. It's like I'm sure I bet he would have pitched the complete game. Maybe.
It wasn't like he was saving a no-hitter, though.
Right.
Like, let's be honest. Like, it wasn't like that's too. Like, it was like, okay, you had 96 pitches, you have the heat of the order. Let's take the guy who's our closer and get the save.
Right. Even though it wasn't a safe situation, it was going to be. But the Red Sox scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th. So we talked about Miley. He was fantastic. 4 hits, 1 run, 8 innings. Nasty. And then the offense was Mike Napoli again. Napoli was 2 for 3.
Whatever it takes, dude. Whatever it takes at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you just put it together in the same game, get some good hitting, get some good pitching. They did. Napoli gave him a 2-0 lead in the second inning with a 2-run homer, which was to center field, longest home run of the season, dead center field. And then Pedroia got a sac fly in the 5th inning to make it 3-0, and then the Angels got one back 3-1. And then in the bottom of the 8th inning, Napoli again with 2 guys on, hit one off the middle of the monster, 2 more runs, gave him 4 RBI for the game, and gave the Red Sox a 5-1 lead. And then Pablo Sandoval pinch hit for, and I want to talk about this, he pinch hit for Brock Holt because Holt got hit in the forearm with a ball. I think he's okay,
yep.
But he came out just for precautionary reasons the next inning. And Sandoval hit lefty against a lefty instead of righty.
Did you see what his explanation for it?
Yeah,
though?
he was because he's hurt.
He said because his injury is his left foot or left leg or whatever the injury was. Yeah, it's his left knee. So he said that he didn't want to hit righty because he wouldn't be able to get enough like power and like enough tension in his left knee when he stepped to hit righty, and because it's more pressure on that when you take the step and the stride towards the pitcher. So he's saying that if he was completely healthy, he would have hit righty anyway. He said it had nothing to do with him sucking, basically.
What he should say is, I'm 2 for 41 against left-handed pitchers as a righty, so I should stop hitting right-handed.
Yeah, he really should. But either way, it's good to see him come in there and get a hit.
Yep, the lefty hit against the lefty and got an RBI single first pitch.
Yeah, so I'm okay with him being lefty and staying lefty if he really wants to.
I would be completely happy with that. In fact, I'd be more than in favor of that. So that made it 6-1. Koji shut him down, and the other star of the game was Xander Bogaerts, who was 4 for 4.
Boom, fantasy team.
Yeah,
fantasy numbers.
Nice.
Let's go.
3 singles and a double for Bogaerts, and he just set Napoli up all day long. He got the single.
He's coming around.
He got the single before his home run. He got another hit before Napoli's 2 RBI double, and Bogaerts, like you just said, he's up to 290.
He's coming around, and he is going to keep hitting up. I like him protecting Napoli a lot.
Yeah, we'll digest the lineup changes in a minute. But that was
MVP time.
That's your recap. It was a 3-3 week, a great finish to it, bad start, but 2 wins in a row now, 3-3. They've gotten back to within 2 games of 500, and our MVP. If you didn't figure it out from all we've talked about in the series, Mike Napoli.
MVP.
9 for 21 in the
easy.
The 6 games, 9 for 21, 428 average, 6 runs, 5 home runs, 10 RBI.
Easy. Woo. Easy. It's like he invented the game this week. He phenomenal. And I'm gonna tell this story because I don't know if I'm sure everyone's read it and heard it. I'm sure you heard it, Jess, but you know why he's hitting so much better, right?
Dustin Pedroia.
Dustin Pedroia, if you guys haven't heard the story, he was on the way, they were on the flight back from the Seattle road trip out from Safeco, and I don't forget who was Mike watching odd video with, Chili Davis?
I think so.
I'm gonna go with that one. I think Mike Napoli was watching tape of his swing with Chili Davis, and he was dissecting his swing now versus 2013, because his 2013 swing was obviously flawless because he hit so well that year. Then Dustin Pedroia came up and was watching film, and he noticed something. And Dustin Pedroia noticed that his hands weren't in the right place, or something silly like that.
He was guessing too much about where the ball was going to be too.
And so that little adjustment, Mike Napoli was like, "Oh, okay." And the next game he adjusted it, and that's when he started hitting better. And all of a sudden now he's hitting like this. So I credit Dustin Pedroia wholeheartedly for Mike Napoli's resurgence and more dominance of my fantasy team.
Well, it was instant impact. I mean, the second he talked to Pedroia, he started hitting.
The next game he started hitting.
But here's the thing with all this.
All right, so fire Chili Davis.
He
didn't see it.
But here's the thing, though.
Hashtag fire Chili.
People are all over Napoli for being so bad and everything, and small sample size once again, just, a little over a month. Everyone's like off of his head, get him out of the team, he's terrible, he's awful. Now everyone's praising him like he's like the best player in the major leagues again.
Okay, that's how fans are, Jess.
I know, it's stupid though, because you got to be patient, and people just jump all over things quickly and then just act like they never said anything. Oh, what? Napoli? I didn't say they should get rid of him. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I didn't say anything about that guy. Oh, he's amazing. 2013, yeah, beards, man. Fear the beards. Oh.
Napoli raised his average 29 points in the Angels series.
Pretty sure his average raised like 0.3 of a point just by talking to Pedroia.
Yeah.
Not even hitting a ball, just on the airplane.
Yeah, so folks, Mike Napoli's back, I would say.
Fear the beard, huh? Fear the trimmed beard, huh? He shaved it, huh?
Yeah, fear the short hair and the trimmed beard.
I like the look. It's much cleaner.
It's
nice.
Cleaner. So our predictions were close. I picked the Sox to win 2 out of 3 from Texas. You picked them to sweep Texas. They lost 2 out of 3, so those were a little off. I picked them to win 2 out of 3 against the Angels, which happened. You picked 2 out of 3 losing from the Angels, which didn't quite happen. So I predicted we both predicted a 4-2 week, and it was 3-3. So fairly close.
Wah.
Not quite 100% like you last week, so we'll better luck next week.
Week last week. Great week. Partay.
All right. So that's your weekly recap, and now we'll get into some topics.
Thank you, sir. That was great. Good job. Thank you. Always good with the stats. Stat man.
That's what they call it.
Stat man. Jess Thomas. All right. Since we kind of talked about Nap a lot, I'm going to shy off that for a second here. Before we get to our fantasy segment, I want to ask you, Jess. This pitching, man. Last week we broke it down. Last week we gave the MVP of the week to the entire pitching staff. This week, if Nap didn't go off so I was about ready to do it again. What is this pitching staff here to stay, or is this a joke? Are these last 2-3 weeks the anomaly, or is this it? Is this what we're getting now? Are they back to what they should be?
It might be the fan in me, it might be the optimist in me, but I feel like this is more what they actually are. And I say that because first month of the season is always tough. It's getting used to a new situation, a new season. For most of these guys, a new team. And
we weren't expecting the suckbag pitching that we got in the first month of the season. We were expecting this. We said mediocre coming in, and that's what this kind of is. Even though this is a little above mediocre. But, this is what I expected coming into the season.
Overall now, between the bad start and the good couple weeks here, it's kind of averaged out to be what they should be. And I think that makes sense. I mean, they struggled. Buchholz wasn't used to being the number one, oldest guy on the team, and he settled in a little bit, and Miley wasn't used to pitching the AL, and he's been dominating. And Porcello, coming into a new team, struggled a little bit, and before his last start, he was pitching really well. And Stephen Wright coming in now and pitching some good starts after Masterson on the DL. He's feeling out his way in the rotation now, and Joe Kelly's pitched a good couple games his last start. So it's all coming together now. They're all getting used to it. They've all had about 7 or 8 starts now, and it's all putting it together now. So I think this is more like what they are. I don't think you can base a whole lot on the first month of the season. Yeah, no,
the first month of the season is tough for a lot of people between weather in certain towns because you're pitching in the cold, especially here at Fenway. It's just a lot, and a lot of these guys aren't used to that weather. So I definitely have to give it more credit to them now at least battling back and pitching well, but I still don't see it lasting.
Well, can we at least give me credit here? Because I said we're exactly right now, May 24th at the time, about three weeks to a month ago, that I said, let's wait until the last week of May to see if this pitching staff is horrendous and they should get new guys or if they should stick with these guys. And
I guess I can give you that.
Yeah, it's that time now, and they have been pitching well the last couple of weeks, so let's give me some credit here.
And last week we did say, let's give Miley another start and see if he can do it again.
Woo, he sure did. Oh, man.
And we gave Clay another start, and he did it again. So, look, I'll watch. I'm intrigued.
We want them to be good. We're fans.
I'm not sitting here rooting for them. I'm not sitting here rooting for them to suck. I'm just saying that I'm not trusting Wade Miley at this moment to withhold the rest of the season and pitch well. I'm not trusting Clay Buchholz because he hasn't given me anything to trust in the last 8 years he's been here. But I want him to do well. I do. I'm a fan. I'm a fan at heart. I'm just an objective fan, which you kind of have to be, especially the way they've been dealing with the front office the last few years. But that's a whole other argument that I do not want to get into at this moment. So basically, we're sticking with the pitching. We think the pitching is been solid, and we think that moving forward, it's going to stay solid. Hopefully,
we just need to get pitching and offense in the same game, which has happened the last
same
2 games,
damn
which
game.
Is good.
Yeah. So
but did not happen the last 2 weeks before these last 2 games at all.
No, it did not happen. All right. That being said, Jess, let's move on here. Fantasy segment time. Let's get this in. Let's do this. So Jess and I, of course, give your top two for each of us for fantasy ads for the week. Jess, you can start.
All right. First one I'm going to go with is a hitter. He's a little bit in the shadows at this point after having a really good start to his career, and he's been good for a while. That's Ryan Howard of the Philadelphia Phillies, just wasting away in Philly. But
really is wasting away over there. Sorry.
He
really
is. But quietly, he's actually put up really good numbers this year, and I noticed, at least in my league, it said that he's only on like 30% of teams in Yahoo. I mean, on ESPN, which is like nothing.
That's nothing.
And he's hitting at 268 with 10 homers and 23 RBI. 10 homers is a lot. That's good fantasy stuff, and I was really surprised to see him down there on the list, just sitting there waiting to be picked up. So I'd say if you're looking for some production, namely home run and RBI, he's having a really good year so far.
Yeah, no, that's a good one, and he really is wasting away in Philly. It's kind of a shame. And until Napoli started playing a little better, I wouldn't have been opposed to getting Cole Hamels and Ryan Howard together.
But see, fortunately, for fantasy purposes, whether he's wasted away in Philly or not, he's still going to give you good fantasy numbers. He's
still produced. He's playing one way or the other, people. So his numbers don't correlate to them winning or losing. His numbers correlate to individual hitting the ball, and he's killing the ball. So I would do it. Definitely consider it. All right, my first one. I'm going to make it obvious because we just kind of talked about him forever. Mike Napoli.
We'll continue to talk about him.
We'll continue to talk about him because, again, guys, 9 for 21 the last week, 428 batting average, 6 runs, 5 homers, 2 in 1 game, 10 ribbies, 3 walks. This guy's been on a tear, and I promise you he's probably available in a lot of your leagues.
Well, he's
maybe not
203 even with this week, so.
Yeah, so I promise you he's probably available. I'm lucky enough to realize to hang on to him. I just stashed him and haven't played him, and I'm reaping the benefits. But I recommend it wholeheartedly in daily fantasy as well, clearly, because his value is going to be really low. But clearly, for now, on a daily basis, he's going to keep putting up numbers, I think, and I think you're going to see it in Minnesota. So, Mike Napoli, kind of a no-brainer for an ad this week on the Week 8 waiver wire.
He was picked in my league this morning, actually. He was picked up this morning.
Yeah. See, you got to get him while you can.
Yep. He was right with you. He was like, oh, I'm getting this guy.
Might as well. If you're on the top of it, you probably already have him. If you're not on top of it, hopefully someone else wasn't either.
So my second one is somebody that I picked up today, actually. Speaking of picking up people today.
Boom.
If this guy is available in your league and you need pitching, then you need to get off whatever page you're on and get over to your fantasy page and pick up Nick Martinez of the Texas Rangers. We just saw the Rangers last week, and we're going to see them again this week. Nick Martinez, he's pitching against the Red Sox on Thursday, actually, and he is 4-0 with a 1.96 ERA.
Woo! Baby.
And most people don't know who he is.
Hot Bob.
And he's got great numbers. I was sitting here like, I think I need a pitcher. Jose Quintana was struggling. I dropped him today, and there was Nick Martinez just sitting there, and I was like, why is this guy available? 4-0, 1.96 ERA. That's enough of a sample size. His last 2 games, he's only given up 3 runs total in 12 innings. Got 11 strikeouts in those, both wins. He goes up 6 or more innings almost every start, only giving up a couple runs each game. This is the guy you got to go out and get if you're looking for a good pitcher.
Upside as well, at least on Yahoo. He's not in my league. I went to check. That's what I'm doing right now. But I'm trying to take your advice, but my league won't let me. He is listed as a relief pitcher as well.
Yep.
So flexibility there in terms of putting people in your lineup. If you want more starting pitching instead of a reliever, you can do that, and you can put him in both slots depending on your matchups in certain situations. So definitely a good versatile pickup as well.
A lot of good guys out there this week.
Yeah, it's good. All right, my last one here.
I'm a Red Sox name here.
Yeah, I stuck with the Red Sox here because I think they're two logical picks. Mike Napoli's kind of a no-brainer, just the way he's been playing and the way he's been hitting the ball. If you gave points to teaching points in fantasy, I'd pick up Dustin Pedroia, but they don't do that. So I'm going to go with Rusney Castillo. Now, a lot of people probably don't have him. I guarantee you a lot of people don't have him. He was just called up the other day to the Red Sox, and people have been calling for this guy if you haven't been following along forever. And he finally is getting the nod here, and he's been playing. He's played every game since he got called up. This guy's got pop. He only has, 2 hits since being called up, Jess?
Yeah, 2 for 8.
Yeah, he's 2 for 8. He's scored a run, and that's it. But this guy can hit. He's 2 for 8, but probably, let me think, 3 out of the 6 hits that he didn't get, at bats that he didn't get hits, he smoked the ball. He just hit it right to somebody or someone tracked it down. The guy is raw power. He's 27 years old. He's not a rookie. So if you can get him, I would snag him in a heartbeat because I think his numbers are going to increase. He's going to keep playing more, and I would recommend wholeheartedly going to get Rusney Castillo.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that most people wouldn't know about just because they know that they probably know the Red Sox.
If you're not a Red Sox fan, you wouldn't know about him.
Call them up. So he's definitely a good guy to go out and get if you're expecting him to do better, which you would hope he would, especially if you're a Red Sox fan, because he just got called up and he's supposed to be a really good hitter. So time to show it. And if you want somebody who could be good, he's definitely a good option.
Low risk, high reward, in my opinion, for Rusney Castillo. All right, so 2 for me were red hot Mike Napoli. I'll preach his name all night long, and Rusney Castillo. And the 2 for Jess were Nick Martinez, 4.0, 1.96 ERA, go get him, and Ryan Howard wasting away over there in Philly.
Wasting away with 10 home runs, yeah.
Wasting away with 10 homers, I'd still go get him.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there's your fantasy baseball segment of the week. Fans, the wait is finally over. Baseball season is here at last, and the excitement continues all season long at DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments, people, just instant cash and instant gratification. Why wait until the end of the season to claim victory when you can win huge cash every single day at DraftKings? It's like a brand new season every time you play. Just select 2 pitchers, 8 position players, stand at that stupid salary cap, and you could be on your way to an enormous payday. Last year, Peter from Colorado won $1 million at DraftKings in one day just playing fantasy baseball. You want to be Peter from Colorado, people. You want to do it. Hundreds of thousands of fantasy sports fans just like you have already cashed in at DraftKings. Now it's your turn. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code New England to play for free. You could win part of the $300 million in prizes being rewarded this season. Use promo code New England for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Again, go to DraftKings.com. And, of course, they are a proud sponsor of our fantasy baseball segment here on the Red Sox Beat, powered by CLNS Radio. Jess, again, always fun to play DraftKings. And, again, I'm always jealous of Peter from Colorado.
Yeah, Peter's the man.
I want to be Peter. Give me that $1 million.
Just call him Peter.
Peter, the $1 million winner on DraftKings.com.
I love the fantasy segment. We've incorporated some good stuff into the show.
I like it. All right. Way to toot our horn, Jess. Nice job.
I can do that.
You know, I like the segment we just did. You know, it was a good job.
I like the show. It's a good show we do here.
I'm gonna pat ourselves on the back there. Oh yeah, okay.
If we're terrible and we shouldn't pat ourselves on the back, please tell us.
Yeah, feedback, Twitter, man. Let us know. Let us know what we're doing wrong. We'll fix it. All right, Jess. Now, one thing I want to do is we're done with the fantasy baseball segment. That was a great segment as always. It's fun, and I love it. But I want to keep on the trend there. And we were talking about I brought up Rusney Castillo. I'm so happy he's up, Jess. Like, it needed to happen, and it finally happened, and it's just like, hallelujah.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, Red Sox fans have been waiting for it for a while. He signed a $72 million deal to not play so far, to just be injured and be in the minor leagues. And now he's finally here. Door opened by Victorino being out again, which we'll get to in more depth. But Castillo's up, and I'm excited about that, but I wanted to prove it to me. He hasn't proved to me yet that he's a good Major League player. He hasn't really had a whole lot of a chance, but he better stay healthy, first of all, and second of all, he better start producing because he's supposed to be a really good offensive player. I'm waiting to see it.
Okay, so I kind of want to transition into this situation that when Rusney got called up, John Farrell came out and said they're going to do a rotation between Mookie Betts, Rusney Castillo, and Shane Victorino in right field and center field. Obviously, that changes with Victorino being on the DL again. But would you, if they're all healthy, it sounds like that's going to be the case. Now, do you believe it to be every once in a while give Betts a day off, and that's what he meant by rotation? Or do you really think he's going to rotate all three of these guys equally?
I think it'd be stupid to rotate him equally. I've been behind Victorino. I want him to be well. I want him to do well. But, boy, he just can't stay a single game on the field.
Can't find it, man. I don't know what's going on.
Something's always sore. It doesn't matter what he does. If he runs back in a ball, it's sore. If he runs down the baseline, it's sore. If he swings the bat, it's sore. It's time. I'm sorry. I'm willing to give him as many chances as he can. Bring back that 2013 magic, and he's good when he plays, but he gets hurt every other game. He can't do it anymore. Yeah. He just can't.
No, and it's bugging me too because the way the situation's playing out is John Farrell's still playing him. And I want to talk about John Farrell later, but Shane Victorino needs to be taken out and staying out. Now, I understand that. What are you going to do with him? Just let him sit on the bench. His contract's up after this year, if I'm right, I mean. And just let him waste away here. He'll play every once in a while. You get more production out of Rusney and Mookie Betts out there, and that's it. That's it. That's all you got to do, John. Listen to me, Farrell. That's all you got to do. Just literally put him on the bench, let him play every once in a while. He won't be hurt that way because he won't have to play every day. And once he comes back 100%, that's what you do.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just, we've beat it to a dead horse in the show. You talked about it for about the first, full month before the season started, and then as the season started, you kept saying, all right, he's going to get hurt. Just wait for him to get hurt. Victorino's going to get hurt. Just wait for him to get hurt, and then we'll bring up Castillo. Victorino shouldn't play. Why is Farrell naming him the starting right fielder? He's just going to get hurt. And guess what he's done? He's gotten hurt. He's done exactly what you said every time. He keeps coming back. He keeps getting hurt. He keeps coming back. He keeps getting hurt. I'm sure a lot of fans are tired of it. I know I'm tired of it because it's like
this is who he is. He's
34 years old.
Walking glass.
He plays too hard. He's played a lot of years. He's done what he's supposed to do, and he's probably done in baseball. I mean, maybe he could have some more good years or some more good games or something, but it's time. This is no point anymore. He can't stay on the field. He
needs to stop playing. I hope if I'm right, Jess, I believe his contract is up after this year. I think that's right?
But I hope.
I'm pretty sure him and Mike Napoli were on the same track, and Mike Napoli's is up after this year. So, if that's all right, then he's up after this year. Just let him waste away on the bench, and then he'll realize how much he gets hurt. He'll stop playing, and he'll just ride away off into the sunset in the memories that were 2013.
Well, see, it's got to be frustrating.
Go back to
frustrating for him, obviously, because he's.
Of course it is, but he's not good.
Yeah, he needs to realize
you can't take the players' frustrations into account when you're putting a lineup together.
I'm sure he realizes it, but he needs to realize that he's not really helping much either by just keep going in this circle thing where you just keep coming in and then going out and getting people's hopes up and then dropping their hopes and then getting their hopes up. He doesn't even get hurt. It's just soreness all the time, but the soreness turns into a week or two, and then it turns into some different injury and some different soreness. It's just nonstop, never ending.
Yeah, I just feel like they need to give up on him now. And it has to be the case. And this whole rotation thing is crap. And if that really was the case, obviously we don't know now because he's back on the DL with the left calf sort of stiffness they claimed that he had before the game. They kept playing him. It looked like to me he re-aggravated it when going back to shag at right field.
Yeah, he looked really awkward on that play.
Looked awkward when he went to make that play. So I think that's when he did it. But this whole rotation thing is bull. And if he actually fell through with that, then John Farrell needs to be fired.
I don't see how he could. I don't see how he could do it. It's no point anymore.
Jess, I want to talk about this now. We'll talk about this other thing in a second, but let's just skip to the next one here because I want to kind of ties in. How safe is John Farrell's job? Because this team is mediocre, a 500 team at best right now, and he's not getting anything out of his players. His players keep getting hurt. He keeps trusting Shane Victorino. What will it take for John Farrell to lose his job here?
That's a really good question. It's tough to know because they seem to be so behind him, and he's been with the the organization for a pretty long period of time at this point. I saw an article recently, I can't remember who it was or where it was, but it said that like the Red Sox are like too comfortable with John Farrell. And it's like
they're way too. Oh my God, I totally agree with that.
I don't remember what it was, but might have been the Globe. Regardless, it was just saying that everyone's too comfortable with him. It's like he can kind of go do no wrong. Like the players know that he's gonna. It might have been Nick Cafardo. It's or Peter Abraham, one of the two. It was just saying like the players know that he's not gonna like call them out publicly. Like he's gonna do everything behind closed doors. Like they know what his thing is. They know that like they're safe and that like it's just like that whole thing. It's just everyone's very comfortable with each other, and being comfortable is a good thing, no question about it. But when it turns to like winning ball games and like holding people accountable and like lighting a fire under people and being like, hey, what are you doing? You need to play better, all that. Maybe that's not happening.
I'm not a big fan of him in general, Jess. I don't know what your take is on Farrell, but other than 2013, look, he's way under 500 as a manager between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. And both teams he's had talent. And he just, except for 2013 when everyone rallied around each other, he doesn't get the best out of his team. He doesn't make the best in-game managerial decisions. The pitching to Nelson Cruz is one of the dumbest ones I've ever seen him do. And he's had some dumb ones. So it's just, I don't know. I just feel like signing up to an extension was kind of a silly decision, and I think that's a joke. I think you should be okay with having someone kind of work for their money instead of just hand it to him because you like the guy. That's just my opinion. I don't know if it will you, Jess, but I don't want to hand millions of dollars to someone if they don't deserve it. So for me, it's just not yet, obviously, in terms of firing John Farrell, but it's got to be there if they keep underachieving like the way they are right now. Because even though they're still in it, they're only still in it because everyone else sucks in this division too. They're underachieving for what this roster was built to do, and if sooner or not later he's got to take some blame for it because Juan Nieves already got fired, and I've been seeing people calling for Chili Davis'
That's
head
ridiculous.
too. I think if someone gets fired next, it's John Farrell.
Yeah, Chili Davis will be too soon. He's only been here a month and a half.
Yeah, Juan Nieves has been here, and he's John Farrell's guy. I think that was them sending more, like we talked about it last week, Jess. It was them sending a message to the players, but I think it was also sending a message to John Farrell.
Getting rid of your guy.
He's not safe. You're not safe. Figure it out.
We're getting rid of him.
And that's what they're doing. So I think John Farrell is the next domino to go if they were to do something like that. If it got to the point where ownership and Ben Cherington were sick of losing that much that they said, okay, we got to change this completely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be dramatic or anything, but I'm kind of feeling like I was with the Alan Craig thing, where I was just saying, I said that this is the most important time of his career, these next couple months, and you know what happened with that. He went to the minor leagues, so that answered that question. But I think this is the most important 2 months of John Farrell's career, of just kind of the Red Sox as a team currently, just based on what's happened the last couple of years with taking out 2013, obviously, because that was incredible, but just having last place finishes as an organization and continually having really good players and continually having really bad offense or bad pitching. Like the offense has been terrible the last 2 years. The offense was terrible in 2012. So the organization as a whole, it's completely opposite of what everyone's come to expect from the team in being a winning team every year. Guaranteed 100% expect at least like 88 to 90 wins every year, no matter what. And then now it's kind of like at a certain point, it's like we're kind of like getting used to winning like 70 or 75 games, which is not at all what the Red Sox.
No, they're going to be mid to high 80s, if not low 90s, to be successful in this league.
75 is not going to get.
We're getting content with, and even now we're still content. Like, oh, we have the Panda, we have Hanley, we're good. No, you're still not good. You're still pretty good. A few pieces away from being a real World Series threat all year.
Numbers are great. Sandoval's, he looked like he was going to be great. He's horrendous against left-handed pitchers. Hanley looked like he was going to be great. He had really good numbers in the past. He hasn't done diddly squat in May. He's done absolutely nothing. No home runs, no RBI.
Diddly squat.
Like
diddly squat.
Pulling out a new
like
word.
Diddly
Mookie Betts,
squat.
greatest thing since sliced bread, hitting 235. I know he's barely played, but just like people like that, like everyone, these names, these great names that everyone wants.
Whoa! Mookie Betts has played.
Well, yeah, not like 5 years or something.
He's only missed 2 games all year.
I'm saying like for his career.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa,
I
hold
just
up
mean
there.
in general. Like, these guys,
He's been on the center field like the entire season.
Yeah, he's played a lot this year, but just these guys in general, these big names, these big guys, yet some of the offensive numbers are the worst in the league, or like third worst in the league. That is not something there is not adding up, and I mean, people are angry, obviously, but I just feel like people accept it as well. Like, people accepted last year as bad. People accepted 2012 as bad. Like, when are we going to stop accepting this and be like, okay, well, aren't we supposed to be winning with this good team? We have a good team. This is a good team. We all picked this team to be in first place. We all picked this team to win 85 games and up and everything, and they've been hovering around 500 all year, and they're not a good team at all right now. That could obviously change. It could happen. It could change any minute. It could change tomorrow. It could change next week. Nobody knows that, obviously, at this point, but it's just they're not producing. They haven't for a while, except the exception of 1 year, and I mean, who's the manager? It's John Farrell, and he's been the manager for the last place finish last year. He's been the manager for this year. He was a pitching coach in a couple of, like, 2011 where the team just flamed out at the end. So how long is he going to be the manager, and should they be behind him, and is everyone way too comfortable with everything and just comfortable with going 21-23 for the first 45 games? It's a little concerning. I don't want to get all dramatic, like I said, but it's coming to a certain point where it's kind of like now or never. Like, I feel like this team kind of needs to go on like a 7 or 8, 10 game winning streak and be like, hey, we're good. Because it's not happening.
Yeah, they need to prove something. They need to prove something big time. Jess, before we get to a quick preview of this week, before we get out of here, I just want to ask you, what would need to happen to make this team better to save John Farrell's job if we want to keep it in the same line of things? Do we need to go out and get bigger bats? Probably at a catcher position, just because really where else are you going to put a bat at this point? Or are you still looking at pitching to make this team better?
Well, I think I like the pitching they have in line right now. If they can keep pitching like this, I'm just looking for consistency. 6 or 7 innings, 3 runs or less, maybe 4 occasionally. Just good, consistent pitching, which is exactly what's been happening. But no, we need offense, and I don't care what names you have in your team. We had good players last year too, and the offense was horrendous. The offense is horrendous this year. We can keep talking. Pedroia can keep saying, "Oh, let's talk more play. Like we're gonna hit. You just wait for next week." I'm all about Dustin Pedroia. I love his swagger and all that stuff. But they keep saying that stuff. Keep talking. And everyone, "Oh, we're frustrated. We're really angry about this. We're gonna start playing good soon." Okay, so do it. Like all this talk, both years, all year last year, all this year, talk. Yet the numbers are horrendous. That needs to change.
Yeah. No, I'm done with the talking. They got to do something. They got to play, and I'm kind of sick of it.
They should be able to with the guys they have.
Yeah, this offense is built to produce. This pitching's built to be mediocre, and they're not. Neither of them are doing.
And I'm really hoping,
except for the last couple
these
weeks.
last 2 games, yesterday and today, are more of what we're going to see. Because if that happens, that will be a good team.
I hope you're right. They have, I don't know if I'm going to say a tough week ahead, but they kind of do. We're kind of looking at this right now. They're playing, 3 against the Twins, 4 against Texas. Twins are sneaky good this year.
24 and
Don't know
18,
why,
yeah.
but they've been playing well. So the Twins aren't going to be an easy game like they always usually are. You're still calling for a sweep.
We'll
then they play Texas. Then they play Texas for 4, who just beat them 2 out of 3, and who are red hot at the moment. I think they're beating Yankees right now as well on Sunday Night Baseball. All right, Jeff. So let's start with the Twins series here. You got 3 against the Twins. You're calling for a sweep. Why?
Well, everything I just said, I've decided this week that this is going to be a week where the Red Sox decide they're going to be really good and actually play. So I'm sticking to it, and I'm really hoping it's going to be right. That's really my only reason. I just think this is the time. The last 2 games were good. They got to win now.
Jess is going with his gut, people.
Sweep the Twins.
So they're probably not going to sweep the Twins. My take is they're going to take 2 out of 3. I think. I'm kind of basing it off your feeling, your gut feeling. Only it's my own gut. They're playing so well the last couple of games. Napoli's finding his stride, so it kind of adds a little more depth to that lineup and a little more protection there for Hanley and Ortiz and Sandoval up there in the top half if Sandoval actually starts a game. Yeah, so I think they're going to take 2 out of 3 from the Twins. I think they're going to ride this momentum into Minnesota. It was a great homestand despite starting so tough. I know they only went 3-3, but I think they discovered a lot more than just getting 3 wins
The lineup change
on the road trip. at the homestand. They got the lineup change, which I loved, by the way, Jess. I know we didn't really talk too much in depth about that when we recapped the week, but I loved the lineup change they did. It was fantastic. It's about damn time they did it. They needed just to send a little message to their team, just change things up. I liked Pedroia hitting leadoff when they gave Mookie Betts the day off. And look, this team was better off with the lineup change. I think they should keep it. I think Bogart should be getting more at-bats every game, and I think they're going to continue to do that. And especially if Sandoval's hitting righty, then he should be hitting lower in the order. But until Sandoval comes back, I think Bogart should be behind Napoli, who should be behind Hanley, and potentially maybe having Ortiz to clean up like he has been. I just like the switching around things.
Was
Consistency
fifth. He was behind Ortiz.
Yeah, so I'm okay with either way. I think I'm intrigued to see what they do now that Napoli hit so well too. If they're going to keep it the way it is now, or they switch it. But either way, I'm okay with it. I just want to see. I'd rather see Bogarts get more at bats because clearly he flourishes when he gets his chances.
You were so right though. You said switch the lineup, see if it does something, and I wasn't really buying it, but it actually worked.
Consistency is bad when you're playing like that. You need to just spark something. You need to try something new, and they did it. So that's what's kind of giving me the momentum to say 2 out of 3 from the Twins. I'm not going sweep because they'll probably have a clunker in there, but I like 2 out of 3 from the Twins.
All right. And then against Texas, 4 games against Texas on the road. That's tough. I'm going 3 out of 4 from Texas to finish the road trip 6-1 on the road. Am I crazy? No, I hope I'm not crazy, and I hope that this is. I just said they need to win 7 or 8, 10 games in a row. This would be a darn good start.
That is optimistic, and optimistic again and again and again and again. That's crazy. That you're going 6-1 on. I get the momentum thing. I do. I'm taking a split from Texas, especially because they just beat you at home 2 out of 3. So I'm liking them a split with Texas. Makes them 4-3 overall, and that's about where I like to say they've been. They've been a 500 ball club with an odd number of games this week. Basically a 500 record for going 4-3 this week.
Well,
kind of keeping their thing.
4-3 is pretty good for a road trip, especially a long road trip, a 7-game road trip. But 4-3, like you said, once again, it would be like we're kind of average, maybe slightly above average this week, which is kind of what it's been so far.
But you know what though, Jess? 4-3 with this division. They're 2.5 games back of first place now. After today's action. That won't change because it's the Rays, not the Yankees. 2.5 games back. Going 4-3 could put them in first place, depending on how division plays.
And that's why it's such a big week. Even if they go 4-3 and do that, if they go 6-1, then we're talking about over 500 as a team again, and most likely in first place if you go 6-1. So this is a big week.
Yeah. So with your scenario, they're probably in first place the way this division's playing. With my scenario, they might be tied for second, tied for first, but they're going to be up there, especially because if the Rays yesterday. We're the only ones in the AL East who won a game. Mm-hmm. Right? That was Saturday, right? Yeah, that wasn't today. Saturday, we're the only ones who won. So, look, they're going to have to play better, and I think this is a huge week for them. I really think it's a huge week. So, that being said, we got a lot of baseball ahead, and there is your prediction. Jess is being a lot bolder than I am this week. I will say that for sure. Attention Red Sox fans. Engage with your favorite sports podcast here on CLNS Radio. We have partnered with Reach to develop a brand new way to talk about your favorite sports teams with all your friends. Go to reachedapp.com/CLNS and download the app for iOS or Google Play today and choose your favorite group and invite all of your friends to join you, answer questions, and share across all of your social media pages. The app is simple and easy to use, and so go get it today on your iOS or Google Play store as well as reachedapp.com/CLNS. They've been a great partner. Jess has been on top of it, asking questions every day, and he'll be on top of it even more. Right, Jess?
Absolutely.
All right, so Jess, we're going to end it there. Great week of baseball coming up like we Jess and I just talked about. It's a big week for the Red Sox, so I would definitely tune into every game. They're kind of catching their stride here coming out of this Angel series, so potentially could be talking to you next week about the first place Red Sox.
I hope so, and actually one final closing thought. I'm pretty much enjoying it here. Just to note that the Yankees are 1-9 in their last 10 games. They've lost 5 in a row, and I might be on their way tonight to losing 6 in a row and being 500 after that great start. So much for the Yankees.
That is the definition of this division, people. Hot start, hot rallies, ending terribly, back to mediocre, and I guarantee you, no one's going to win above 85 games by the end of the season.
Not looking like it currently.
That being said, we'll end it there. Enjoy the week of baseball, everyone. Enjoy the tight race that could be battling for the first in the horrible AL East here We are, of course, Red Sox Beat on CLNS Radio. Until next week, have a good week. For Jess Thomas, I'm Jared Scally. See ya.